Alright everyone, we are live, and today we'll be doing a random solo run in Pokemon Yellow. I'm only going to be doing 2 random solo run streams this week because the other 2 games I'm doing this week, X version and Sapphire, are going to be done with specific Pokemon due to member requests. Tuesday will be Pokemon X with Walrein, and later in the week will be Sapphire with Girafarig. But Yellow version, and I believe it's Platinum? Yeah, I think it's Platinum. You'll have to look on the schedule. Those will be with a random species. But anyway, let's see what we've currently played. Don't forget Vanta Black. I'm not doing Vanta Black this week. I don't feel like it. Alright, so we'll take a look at all the species we've played in Yellow version so far, and honestly, it's a pretty decent number of them. We've got a few good S-tier performances, a bunch of A-tier, and some pretty bad Pokemon. I just kind of wonder what we're going to get today. Our last random Pokemon was actually Flareon, and it did pretty decently. Although 17 resets is annoying, but to be fair, fire types aren't great in Yellow version. Alright, so let's see, let's see what we're playing today. Oh. Damn it. 6 Pokemon. Okay. Now for real. Dratini. Oh no, that's bad. That is so bad. Oh man. If it was Ditto, I would have rerolled. Man, 2 bad random streams in a row. Wrap and Leer, Thunder Wave at 10, Agility, Slam, Dragon Rage, and Hyper Beam. Then Body Slam, Bubble Beam, Water Gun, Ice Beam, Blizzard, Thunderbolt, Thunder. Yeah, I'm trying to think here. Like, at least we get Wrap, but with how bad our speed is, I don't know if we'll be able to outspeed Misty's Starmie, because I feel like one of the only ways we could really beat it is by Wrap. Well, to be fair, I guess we do resist water moves. We can always use a Thunder Wave and then start Wrap spamming. And then we can just teach some good special coverage. Thing is, though, like, should I be worried about mid-battle level ups in the league? Honestly, probably not. With how high of a level we might need, I don't think it's really going to matter. Yeah, I'm not sure what level we need for Brock. Tell you what, I'm going to take a look at Scott's run. Not for, like, the entire thing. I just want to see his, what he did for Brock. So I want to see what kind of level to aim for. $15? Well, let's take a look. His Dratini run was 3 years ago.
I've been thinking about doing a Dratini run for a little while now. However, I've always put it off because I expect that this thing is not going to be very good. For base stats, it has 41 HP, 64 attack, 45 defense, 50 special, and 50 speed, giving it a 9.77% chance to get a critical hit in Generation 1. I nicknamed my Dratini Worm, and then I faced the rival in the lab. Now, here we get to see Dratini's starting moveset, which is time I can shave off of the clock. So once again in the early game, I need to fight all of the trainers. This includes the rival on Route 22. I do this at level 9, but I honestly think that I could have done it at a slightly higher level just to outspeed the rival Spearow. After all, there is no rush to complete this fight. Now, I tried to plan things out so that I could be level 13 to defeat Brock, but that just doesn't work. Dratini is always speed tied with the Onix, and I can't use Thunder Wave against it.
Okay, so I should aim for 13 into 14 for Onix. Okay,
now, got it. next section of the game, I have some major changes. So after I defeat Jesse and James,
This run
in
is
Mount
3 years old,
Moon,
though, so
my
we might
Dratini
change
is
some
going to be
stuff.
level 19.
Oh, nice.
This
He
means
thought
my
of the Thunder
speed
Wave strat,
stat
too.
is 33, which ties the rival's Spearow on Nugget Bridge. It can use Growl and lower my attack stat, which I really don't want to have happen. Plus, there is an advantage if I decide to fight Misty first, which is what I'm going to do. So this fight's pretty easy. I can use Thunder Wave to cut her Pokemon's speed, and then use Wrap to knock them out fairly consistently. In this
When did
fight,
this video
I actually
come
run
out?
out of Wrap PP
March
before I knock the
2023.
Starmie out, so I have to use Bide to finish it off, but that gets the job done. Now, defeating the Starmie levels Dratini up to level 20, where I learn Agility in the place of Bide, because I won't be needing that move anymore. Plus, Misty gives me the TM for Bubble Beam,
Okay,
which I
yeah,
now
so
teach
definitely
in the place
Misty
of Water
first.
Gun, and use this
Makes
more
sense.
powerful move against the rival. By the way, leveling up to level 20 gave me 34 speed, so I can go first against his Spearow. After that, the rest of the fight is pretty easy. Then, on the SSN, I pick up the TM for Body Slam, but I am not going to teach it right away, because I want to keep Wrap on my moveset as long as is possible. After all, I don't
Honestly,
really
that
need
makes
Body Slam
sense.
to defeat the rival here.
When I played
Bubble Beam is
Onyx
good
in
enough to defeat
yellow
most of his
version, I
Pokemon.
kept
So here's
Bind
why I'm
up
keeping
until
Wrap.
Lorelei.
In Generation 1, you can paralyze Electric-type Pokemon, so I'll paralyze the Raichu, cutting its speed stat, and then use Wrap to consistently knock it out so that Surge can't get a victory this time. And then to avoid the awful situation that I had against the Wrapping Lass, I can turn the tables on her and Wrap myself. This got a bit sketchy near the end of the fight because I did get poisoned, which means every
man.
time Wrap hits, I take poison damage, but I'm still able to finish her
So yeah,
Bellsprout
be
off and
fearful
take
of
the
this
victory.
person.
Okay, so let's jump ahead to Celadon City. Once again, I'm going to go for 4 Protein, and then I'm also going to teach Ice Beam in the place of Bubble Beam. Now here, I was
Ace
thinking that I
Beam,
should just
Thunderbolt,
fight Erica
Agility,
because,
Body
like,
Slam.
what can she
Interesting,
really
he doesn't
do
keep it for the late
Dratini?
game.
Like, yes, Acid can
makes
be
sense.
annoying
The special
and do
moves are
some
really good.
damage if it lowers my defense stat, but my offensive
don't
potential
know,
is just
though.
not quite good enough, and she actually defeats me.
I don't know,
I'm
Wrap
not
might
used
have
to
some
having that
uses.
happen because
We'll wait and
Erica
see.
is
This is a
typically
3-year-old
not
run
very
after all.
good. I could have delayed this fight, but in the end, I managed to take a victory on the second attempt. Not much time lost. One reason to do this fight a little bit earlier on is so that in Pokemon Tower, when I face Jesse and James, I will be faster than the Arbok. After all, I did all the training in Erica's gym to gain levels. Now that I have the Pokeflute, I'm going to start training, and I'm going to do a lot with Dratini. Basically, I'm fighting like all of the optional trainers in the mid to late game. This includes the trainers in the fighting dojo, and I actually lost against the dojo master. Just so you know, I don't film my entire second playthroughs just to save space on the hard drive. I only film the moments that are actually going to make it into the video, so I wasn't filming when this fight happened. Yeah, anyways, that's a bit annoying. I have to fight him
Back
again
when he
'cause I
didn't have
do want this
replay files.
experience. Luckily, I'm able to defeat him on my second attempt. After doing all of this training, I head into Koga's gym at level 49. Once I defeat the trainers here, Dratini will be level 50, and now I'm going to teach Hyper Beam in the place of Body Slam.
Hyper
What this
Beam
allows me to
gaming.
do is get better damage ranges against Koga's Venonats. The first one is a guaranteed knockout. The second one, I have a 95% chance to knock out, and then I have a 58% chance to knock out the third one.
Yeah, I think
Just to be
Body
safe
Slam
against
would
it, I use
two-shot
Ice
all
Beam
those
instead of
Venonats.
Hyper Beam, and that allows me to get to the Venomoth. Now I could lose here because it sets up double team, but I get very lucky, and Ice Beam followed by Hyper Beam manages to knock it out. Following that, I'm going to head to Blaine. You'll
honestly,
notice that my level jumped up by 5.
I think
defeated
Hyper Beam
all of the
might be
swimmers
needed
on the
for-
sea in the surrounding areas
those
to get
fights.
this, as well as the
But I'm
trainers in
wondering if we
Blaine's
could use
gym. I get some
candies
really
to get
bad
to
luck
that
here.
point.
By the way, in yellow, Blaine does not have good AI, so he is using fire moves against Dratini, which in this case causes a burn. So yeah, that really messes up my plan and it causes a reset. So what the plan is to use Ice Beam followed by Hyper Beam on the Ninetales and the Rapidash. The Arcanine I have to play a little bit contextually against because it has Reflect. However, in this case, we get to see why I use Ice Beam on the first turn so many times when I need like 2 hits. Yeah, I get a freeze and I polish it off. So after all of that training, I can now backtrack to Sylph, and here I can sweep the rivals team. I have guaranteed 1 hits on all of his Pokemon. After that, I
Yeah,
head to
you're gonna
Sabrina's
wanna
gym, do a little
one-shot
bit of
that
additional
Cloyster.
training,
It's got
taking
Aurora
Dratini
Beam.
up to level 58, and then I use 10 rare candies, taking it all the way up to level 68. This ensures that I outspeed all of her Pokemon, because
Oh
I
my
can't use
God.
the Swift strategy this time, because I taught Hyper Beam in the place of Body Slam. Either way, I have guaranteed 1 hits with Hyper Beam, so the only way I could lose that fight is if like I missed
Honestly,
Hyper Beam.
he used all those candies just to get the outspeed. That is very unnecessary. Like, what's the Alex name going to do? Psy
And
Wave?
then like maybe Alakazam
Turn
got
one,
a critical
recover.
hit. Now, because I use my rare
I
candies
still
after doing
think we
so
are
much
going to
more
need
training
Hyper Beam,
in the
because I
early to
think
mid-game
Poke's
without
going to be
any
pretty bad
backtracking,
without
I
it.
am able to defeat Giovanni very easily because I outspeed all of his Pokemon. The rival on Route 22, of course, is easy, as I explained last time, and then in Victory Road, I want to face some trainers. I faced this lady, she has the Bellsprout line, and then this guy who has 3 water types. Kingler is going to be a fun run, by the way. People have asked me what the other high critical hit chance moves are in Generation 1, and a Crabhammer is one of them, by the way. After defeating these trainers, Dratini is level 70. This puts me over a damage rounding threshold for Lorelei. I'm going to knock the Dugong out with 2 hits, then Cloyster is a guaranteed 1 hit, and on the Slowbro, I am going to use Mimic to steal Amnesia. Unfortunately, in this fight, I get taken down to low health, so I have to attack without full setup. I'm not able to 1-hit the Slowbro as a result, but I
That
do
was
take
because
it out over
Psychic
2
got a special
turns.
drop.
Of course, Jinx is a 1-hit with Hyper Beam, and Lapras is a 1-hit with Thunderbolt. So now it's time for Agatha, and she is, by the way, the worst trainer for Dratini to fight in this entire playthrough. This time, theoretically, I should have an easier time against her because I have Substitute. By the way, when you have a Substitute in place in Generation 1, you cannot be confused. And if you're already confused, the damage that you deal to yourself will actually just erroneously
Here's my
be
question.
assigned
What did he
to
use
the
agility
opponent's
for in the
substitute,
mid-game?
even if the opponent doesn't have a
Badge
substitute.
boosts?
I
Probably
love
badge
Generation
boosts.
1. However, there is a flaw to this strategy, and that's that you can still be put to sleep when you have a substitute. As a result, I take so much damage and end up fainting. Not once, not twice, not 3 times, not 4 times, but 5 times. Yeah, I honestly cannot state how annoying this fight was. I have decent potential to cause things like freezes.
Yeah, we'll
or
definitely need a
paralysis
higher
with Ice Beam or Thunderbolt.
higher level at
Also,
the
I can
start of
use Hyper Beam
Lorelei,
against
but
the
I think
Arbok
using
for
those candies at
massive
Sabrina
damage,
was
but in
very
the end, I just got
unnecessary.
really unlucky in this fight.
You could
today.
save the
However, I'm
candies.
going to look on the bright side, and that's the fact that Lance is completely trivial. And after that, the champion doesn't really put up more of a fight. So in this fight, I want to reflect on one small detail. Remember when I fought those 2 trainers in Victory Road? Yes, this was so that
Be
Dratini
level
could be level
70?
73
Is that for
for this
ranges?
fight instead of level 72. By doing that, I am over a damage rounding threshold, which I will explain here. So the game uses your current level to do calculations. And to be very simplistic about it, whenever the game divides a value, it just truncates off the decimal point. So if I was at level 72, then the calculation that it would run would have a decimal value, and it would just truncate that off. This is what I call damage rounding, and it really affects your damage ranges. So your Pokemon will have a big boost in
Ooh,
damage
Ice Beam is
when
like
compared to
barely
the
a
previous level
2-shot.
when your current level ends in 0, 3, 5, or 8. There's one viewer who is using these numbers in their YouTube username. If you need a generic number, I suggest using them. They're very nice. So why does this materially impact this fight?
Okay, yeah, definitely grab
against
Blizzard.
Cloyster, if I'm level 72, I have a 30% chance to knock it out with Thunderbolt. But over the next damage rounding threshold, I now have a 54% chance to knock it out. In this case, I just get a critical hit, so it
54?
goes down anyways.
Ow.
After that, I finish off the Ninetales, and all that's left is Jolteon. Remember, it can't do very much damage to me, so Dratini finishes the game. It clocks.
You know what? If Thunderbolt at 73 is like a 50% chance, if we got to get the rare candy at the power plant, do you guys think it's worth teaching Thunder for this fight? I think just for this one fight here. Because it'd be pretty bad if you make it past the first 3 Pokemon just to miss the range on the Cloyster. That would suck. But you know what? Yeah, I think I'm ready to get started. I think using all the candies before Sabrina was definitely a little overkill. But it does look like the levels mattered for Blaine. Honestly, we'll see on it. All right, I'm going to quickly generate the ROM. Do we need agility after 50? Honestly, I don't even know what we need agility for besides just randomly having it for badge boosts. Who is it now? Dratini. This is definitely a torture nickname. It is. All right, so my question, what is Dratini's crit rate? Let's see. 50 base speed. 9.76. I made sure to set my stats to perfect. Everything else looks good. Now let's resume the music. All right, I'd say we're ready to get started. 3, 2, 1, go. Rough start. I might need this. Will Dratini be able to wrap its way to success, or is it all wrapped up like a burrito? A Taco Bell burrito. You know, a couple weeks ago, I had Taco Bell for the first time in years. It was kind of how I remembered it. I actually found out they made the nacho fries permanent. Okay, so what's the time that Scott got in his second playthrough that I have to try and beat? What was it, like a 138 something? Alright, so I think he did fight the optional rival. That makes the rival have Jolteon, which, funnily enough, Jolteon is honestly one of his easier teams because it is much easier to deal with Jolteon instead of Magneton. Magneton is so brutal to deal with. Also, I am not going to train on these birds. I'm going to save my training for the forest. On the bright side, John, whenever we do a random yellow stream, I can always go to Scott's video for ideas. His video is 3 years old. No. You only... Wait, no, you visit the Smart and Yellow. It's red and blue, you don't. Alright, I'm gonna... match... potions. Alright, I'm not gonna fight the rival right now because it's not gonna go well if I do. Yeah, how you want to do the marts. In red and blue, you save your mart buy for pewter so you can buy pokeballs for Paris. In yellow version, you do your mart buy there, although theoretically you could just skip that mart buy. And the reason I say you can skip it is because it's ideal to actually catch your fly user near Celadon. In that grass near where that girl gives you fly, you can find Spearow and Doduo there that have very good catch rates. And good catch rates. And the disadvantage of having your fly user early is if you want to do blackout training, for Brock, for example, you're going to have to remember to deposit an HM user. I was very much anti, like, Doduo, because I'm like, you're going to encounter a Pidgey in the forest. Why not just catch it while you're there? But after having done some Pokemon that needed blackout training, I ended up just agreeing. Plus, when you're doing your buy for, like, Super Repels and stuff, you know what you can just buy while you're there? You can buy some Great Balls. Alright, I think I'm going to use a Leer first before I use Wrap. I just missed 4 Wraps in a row. You know, I actually needed that heal anyway. Only if this was Dragonite. Honestly, Dragonite wouldn't be much better. Dratini, Dragonair, Dragonite, they all start the game with only Wrap as their attacking move. What am I doing? Alright, I'm gonna see if I can at least knock out this Caterpie. Because I am gonna black out here intentionally, so I can go back and heal. Alright, I'm actually gonna try and fight the rival now. Yeah, 4 times Ice Weakness too, but to be fair, Dragonite's specials and its attack are really good. The thing is, though, I remember, what's-his-face? Zealous Pawn was constantly doing Dragonite attempts in Scott's Discord. The guy literally goes at Brock at basically pure minimum battles, and if he gets a single Wrap miss, he resets. Orchard the name is a meme. It essentially is, yeah. Yeah, it essentially is. That sounds boring. I told Steve to not to take his time seriously. Yet, John, you can't change him. Let him just stream what he enjoys best. I mean, he still does the backports with us once a week. But other than that, he just kind of streams whatever he wants. I know he's been attempting to do those Halo streams. Oh my god. I'm trying to get it to -1. Okay, whatever. I was trying to save some Wrap PP. Dominic, I have no idea what you're talking about. Alright, so I think the goal is to be 13 into 14 for Onyx, because I think at level 13, Scott says you speed tie the Onyx. Ooh, nice. Alright, I'm gonna get 1 escape rope. The reason for this 1 escape rope is, when I'm ready to leave, I could use the escape rope. So essentially, my goal here is to pretty much only train on Metapods. Thing is, with your limited amount of Wrap PP, it's really not worth training on any other Pokemon. Especially since they don't give good yields at all. Oh, new spot for fishing. Cool. I want to make a joke to a Disney princess since one of the moves is literally full of its 4 times weaknesses. Oh, good one. You know, I've essentially memorized a lot of the XP yields in this forest. It was back when I was playing Alakazam. Level 4 Metapods give 41 XP. The level 6s, I believe, give 57, I think. You have $1. Hey, it's my lucky dollar. Yeah, only worth fighting Metapods. Honestly, I could probably attempt blackout training on the junior trainer. I think I will, actually, but the problem is, blackout training on the Light Years junior trainer in yellow version is not that good. Because the levels are lower. But it's gotta be better. Like, I think the Diglett gives, like, 186 XP, I think. I'm gonna get to level 12 first before I do that. I haven't gone fishing in many years. Since I was young. I enjoyed it. I probably wouldn't do it now. My gosh. Dude, I need one more cocoon. Actually, that level 6 Caterpie, to my knowledge, I think a level 6 Caterpie gives more XP than a level 4 Metapod, so I probably should have killed it. Man, remember when I encountered like 3 or 4 Metapods in a row? There we go. Eh. Yeah, that took a long time to find. $156, okay. Earlier today, here's from some fishermen that something big is in one of those areas of water. That sounds interesting. Honestly, I kind of wonder if I should have done this from the start instead of Metapods. But at the same time, though, there is also the time to consider, like, with the Sandshrew having to kill you as well. But earlier, though, I was getting pretty decent luck with the Metapods. Just that one final Metapod was annoying. I mean, I think it was still a good idea to get that higher level first. I think if I was like level 10 doing this, it would probably be harder to kill that Diglett. Actually, wait, what's the speed on that Diglett? 23. Oh. I was thinking maybe a big carp, but Tuesday I'm going to go back to Bell Island, get in the water to see. Well, if you're still alive, hope to see you back at the stream next time. Anyway, 13 into 14. Would anyone happen to know how much experience Brock's Geodude gives? I don't remember. Man, where's Zealous Pond when you need him? It's probably like 200 something. 183 experience. Thank you. $214. Okay. One. Not a blackout. I'm actually going to beat this guy now. Oh, that works. I might need those extra power points with Wrap. 16 should be enough, but I don't want to risk it. I better go in with the full set. One advantage of Brock in yellow version is that his Geodude's a lower level and does not have defense curl, so I can do this. Uh-oh. Okay. Honestly, I think I need to get off like -4 or -5 defense. Yeah, in that first attempt, the Onyx just spamming Screech was pretty unlucky. You know, that thing has Bide, you know. My god. Yeah, Gen 7's music was is pretty good. I mean, I think most people knew that. There we go. This is -6 defense. Also, with how Bide works in Generation 1, Bide only accumulates the damage of the first hit. So, that video I watched earlier with Scott's Dratini run, does anyone remember what time he beat Brock at? If you do another random yellow, what would you do if you got Mew? I already played Mew, so I would re-roll. If it's a Pokemon I've already played, I'll re-roll. Also, that thing you saw me doing where I went to Pewter and came back to the route, you're supposed to do that after you fight this trainer, not before. It's so that way the sprite resets. I don't think that's enough Wrap PP. I better go heal. Any vitamin of the day? I know Scott bought protein, which honestly, that does definitely seem like the answer. Also, look what we're gonna get. Water gun. Get rid of Lear. We're definitely going to want to do some training. If I recall correctly, we need to be level 20 for the rival. Getting leftovers? Dude, we're in Gen 1. There is no leftovers. Scott did Brock in about 16 minutes. Okay, so he had a slightly quicker Brock time. To be fair, if I had done the blackout training, like, from the get-go, then it probably would have been better. Dratini is like Abra. Not even close. Hey, Paris. Too bad this ain't red and blue. I still have to replay Abra and Red at some point, but honestly, I don't want to. I know I quit that last attempt after how Brock went, but I really don't want to play it. No one should have to play that run. Is 5 water guns and 5 wraps going to be enough? I think so. Wrap. Holy crap, that was close. Did the Helix Joe come from the Helix fossil? The Helix Joe came from Twitch Plays Pokemon. Alright, so now we're gonna go fight Misty right away. Thankfully, because of Misty's quote-unquote good AI, she will not go for water moves. She'll only go for Harden and Tackle. And X Defend. Even being by yourself is more pleasant than doing Abra in red, blue, yellow. Yellow specifically is a lot more tolerable. I know Zealouspawn actually got Abra in yellow version under 2 hours. But in red and blue, it is way worse. You need 2 hours just to beat Brock. Might need to face the swimmer? Probably. You know, I actually wonder how Bite'll work if the opponent doesn't move from paralysis. That's worth testing at some point. I'm going to try it now, actually. Tackle, Harden. There we go. Oh, right, I can't face the swimmer. $97 XP. Okay. You know what? What's this? I think I need that to... Actually, I don't think I need that to outspeed Spearow. I think that's for a speed tie. If someone did it for some money, I would do it for a donation incentive, probably. Okay, I guess the outspeed isn't completely necessary at all. Agility. Yeah, sure. I mean, technically, with our backport series in Crystal, Steve and I made a donation incentive for us to backport Pyukumuku into Gen 2. It has to be a pretty big donation for it. I won't say an amount because I don't want to like pressure people, but if someone does one day want to see us backport Pyukumuku that has no attacking moves, and for all three of us to do a playthrough with it, we're saving it for the day someone decides to do a big donation incentive. We don't openly like advertise it though. Like, just being a member will not make us do it. It's going to be that bad. It'll probably be like a 7-hour run. Actually, I don't even think Ike would do it with us. He'd probably have to stay up too late. Or maybe we would have to plan a day. It's Water Wobbuffet. Yep. Its moveset in Gen 2 would have to be like counter, mirror coat. It will get Swagger because Swagger is actually one of its egg moves. Most fights would actually have to revolve around Swagger. Dominic, gifted memberships do not count. If anything, the requested thing would go to the person who gifted the memberships. Also, you have to be a member in order to even gift memberships. But no, being gifted a free membership will not get you a request. Because you technically never gave me any money. Someone else did. But hey, even if you got a free membership, you can still, like, watch the members-only videos or, get one of our patch files for the backports we do. I've been trying to, like, pin it in the community posts, like, every week for members, like, hey, here are the links, but if you're a member, you can just go to the posts, sort by, like, members-only posts, and you'll probably find it. Dude, why did I do that? That ain't secret power. I mean, don't ever feel pressure to. Yeah, I immediately recognized it as Lily's theme. And I've been sanded. I told him no. Actually, I'm gonna get the Death Ether really quick. I might use it to fight some trainers on the SSN. What would be another joke backport? I would say Shuckle, but it's technically already a Gen 2 species. Uh-oh. Dude, that Drowsy is scary. Why not? Nah. It's just worse Wobbuffet. Besides, I think Scott has played Wobbuffet in Crystal, and it's effectively improbable. Actually, no, it's not. I think he did do it. I don't remember. Yeah, I'm pretty confident I will need to fight trainers on the boat. But yeah, I'm pretty confident we don't need agility for anything. No Squirtle for Surf. First of all, you have to beat Lieutenant Surge. And second of all, Squirtle is a more annoying Surf user than Lapras. Because for Squirtle, you have to teach Surf first. And then when you teach Strength, you have to go through all the text that says, hey, this Pokemon already knows 4 moves. But with Lapras, you don't have to do that. Lapras only has 2 starting moves, while Squirtle has 3. Squirtle is only worth it if you're going to do Blaine before Rival 5, which in this case we are. Rival 5 is actually going to be harder than Blaine, so we actually will do that. So we will be getting Squirtle. It has to be a joke Pokemon. I remember I asked Steve a Wishy-Washy backport. He says Wishy-Washy should not be the little standard singular fish form. He said it would have to be the schooled form because that's like its form at full HP. But we'll probably never backport it anyway. Who are the threats? Lorelei, Koga. Pretty much it. We're going to be out-leveled for a lot of fights. I mean, we can't really backport Dunsparce into Gen 2. The Dunsparce would just be a better Dunsparce. That's not really interesting. Oh yeah, Agatha was a big pain too. I forgot about that. Alright, I need to save those body slams. Uh-oh. Well then. Somebody say boom. Dunsparce did not get done dirty. The Dunsparce is a good evolution. I don't care what people say. Not every evolution has to be this, badass dragon. Ooh, Pidgeotto. That's good XP. I have not done any of the Applin line. No. Dude, it is so good how many ethers this boat gives you. Gives you an ether and a max ether. And you can pick up the death ether, so it becomes the life ether. Alright, that is why I have a full restore. Fun fact, in red and blue, this girl has a Pikachu. I've never played Dragapult either. Honestly, that triple fused dragon would just be too overpowered. They probably wouldn't introduce it. Dragapult in Gen 2 would be okay because of 120 attack and stab Shadow Ball. Honestly, doing the Megas is just really... That's annoying. To be fair, Mega Zygarde is not as overpowered as people think it is. I've tried using it in Legends ZA, the online ranked battles. It's not that good. The problem is, it can only Mega Evolve in the 100% form, and the Pokemon Zygarde can only be in 100% form when at half HP or lower. So it has to get to half health before it can Mega Evolve. Like, I think the day Mega Zygarde is like in Champions or something, it's not going to be that good. Remember, Dominic, you can only use Mega Zygarde at half HP. And the thing's 4 times weak to ice. Like... I liked Karina's redesign. She's like one of the only characters in X and Y that even has lore anymore. Because of ZA. Well, I guess Lysander, too. Besides, like, Karina and Lysander, everyone else from the original X and Y and ZA is just irrelevant. I guess Mabel, yeah, Mabel's a third one. Yeah, Diantha's daughter has more relevance to the plot of Kalos than Diantha herself. They should not have brought back Looker. Looker was a garbage character. I don't care what people say. Looker was garbage. He barely did anything successful. You did all the work in those games. He pretended to be relevant. Like, in Platinum, name one thing he actually did, besides, like, in Stark Mountain, he helped arrest, Sharon, or whatever that guy's name is. You guys might want to look away. I have no way to heal this poison. She paid her DLC privileges. True. Oh, besides the Ocarina of Time remake, one of the other things that got announced at the Nintendo Direct was apparently Pokopia is getting 3 DLC waves. Like how the mainline games would have 2 waves. Pokopia is going to have 3. I guess a lot of people are really excited for it. I'm guessing it's just like new areas for you to like create livable habitats for Pokemon, and I guess underwater areas too. Aura farming? I think aura farming just means like looking cool. I don't say that phrase because I don't like Gen Alpha. I don't like Gen Alpha slang. Alright, I gotta heal here. In Generation 1, you have to heal at the center to set it as your war point. I'm also gonna go in the Rocket Hideout to get some high money items and buy protein. Yeah, he tried to look cool. I don't know why people like Looker so much. He's a very overrated character. I was in elementary school and Gen Alpha was born. I mean, that makes sense. I mean, in elementary school, you'd be like, what, 10 years old? Yeah, that makes sense. I will not forget the freshwater this time. Yeah, Sharon was honestly a waste of a character, too. There was no reason for Platinum to have added him. Alright, keep Ice Beam. Double Edge. Horn Drill. 3 Nuggets. Oh, hold on. Alright, protein. 4 protein. Alright, I'm gonna get 8. I'm gonna get 1 extra Great Ball to be safe. Alright, I'm gonna get rid of Bubble Beam. 4 protein. I'm doing this to not mess up my muscle memory because I'm normally used to my flyer being in slot 2 for a lot of games, so I don't want to mess up my muscle memory. Well, I guess Doduo got a free super potion. Giving beast balls. Yeah, but like, was Looker the one even helping to fight the Ultra Beast? He just made you do it all. The best part about Gen 1 sure is, John. I'm saving here because I don't think Ice Beam can one-shot. Nope. Uh-oh. This is why Pokemon like Clefable would actually go out of their way to get Psychic. It was Annabelle, but where's Annabelle from? Annabelle is one of the frontier brains in the Battle Tower in Emerald. Oh my god. That was a turn frame encounter. And a Haunter, too. How many generations is it where the mid-game gets you such great TMs? Gen 2? I guess. It made Psychic immune to Lick. It was an error. The reason it's an error is because in Red and Blue, there's a guy in Sabrina's gym who says to use Ghosts, but then in Yellow, they changed his dialogue to remove that word. I do not have... Alright, I gotta go use the heal pad. Ah, dang it. Not the first time I've done that. Scott is delaying Emerald again because he's been playing weak Team Rocket Mons. I don't blame him. So yeah, we're going to need a pretty high level at the start of Lorelei, so yeah, we're going to need to do a lot of the good training. Dude, these stupid Twitch bots. Not going to bother with it right now. Wow, there's 2 of them. And they're the same URL link, too. Hey, John, I think you're still a mod on my Twitch. Can you go over there and ban them, please? Are you able to? Ammonite's gonna eat the ceiling of the room. No, Ammonite brings us blessings. Alright, if I remember correctly, the trainers on this route that have Weezings, they are not any of these guys. Actually, I believe this guy has the Weezing. No, he does not. I don't think any of these guys do. I know this guy does. What person to ban? Are they not there? Are the messages not there, John? It had like a Steamboo URL in it. I wonder if my Twitch bot has been automatically blocking them. But maybe on Restream it still comes through. Messages are not there? Okay, then never mind, John. I'm guessing my Twitch bot automatically blocks them, but on Restream they still show up for some reason. So yeah, never mind. I don't think I am a mod. You're not a mod? Hold on. Yeah, I don't even see the... How do you mod somebody? Can you do /mod? Invalid username. Hey, John, why does your username have 3 1s in it? Oh, you're already a mod. Never mind. Oh my god. I think this guy is Machoke. Hey, at least Rage was helpful for me. Oh wait, this is the guy I lost to. Couldn't have 2 1s. Weird. That biker up there has only Voltorbs. Uh-oh. This is going to be cutting it close. Damn it. I 100% blame the poison for that loss. Random could be Primeape one day, that'd be funny. Primeape wouldn't be that bad. Good thing I spent most of my money already. Coughing Sprite looks like it saw something dirty. That's one way to describe it. Better than its red and blue front sprite where it's upside down. Okay, I am poisoned. Do I have a healing item? I don't. Okay, I'm just gonna ignore this guy. And just fly back and heal. Hey, I've done, what Pokemon was it? There was a Pokemon I did recently where the only way for me to win was by getting Anger Point activated and getting crits. I mean, I'm sure when I play Primeape in Pokemon Moon, I'm probably going to have to use Anger Point, and maybe the only way to win some fights is with a crit, because... Actually, nah, I wouldn't. There's Bulk Up. Bulk Up exists. Need some buy some Super Potions? I really do, yeah. Alright, that should do. Oh, I forgot about that feature. You can actually enter the Safari Zone in yellow version with, you can enter with less than $500, but if you don't have enough money, he'll just give you a proportional amount of Pokeballs. It was to prevent a soft lock. If you have $0, he says you don't have enough, but then if you keep begging, he lets you enter with just one ball. That's the first time I've ever been able to utilize that in a run. Alright, now my bag is full. Alright, we're gonna go do Sylph training now. Okay. Oh my gosh. Thankfully, I'm pretty confident I remember where pretty much all the good trainers are. Uh-oh. I'm saving my PP-ups for Hyper Beam. Okay, use this Max Potion. Carbos. Piece of candy. I'm gonna need to use each vitamin every time I grab it. Thoughts on his Crobat run in Heart Gold Soul Silver? I think he did pretty good. Although, in the post-game in Kanto, he did mention that in Heart Gold Soul Silver, you only have one copy of Return. That's actually not true. Maybe in the Goldenrod department store, you only get one. I did save recently, yes. A few trainers back, whatever. In the Celadon department store, you can actually just purchase more returns. You can purchase Return, Frustration, Hidden Power. You can purchase them there. Any day of the week. There have been some Pokemon I would purposefully not play on Sunday, so I can get a different held item than just buy Return in Kanto. This guy, he is just straight up terrifying. This guy received a massive downgrade in Fire Red and Leaf Green because his Hypno and Drowsy do not have Hypnosis anymore. Yeah, pretty annoying I had to redo this part, but whatever. I wonder if blacking out would have been faster. Alright, we're back. Good thing I have that full restore. The 7th floor here has some pretty good trainers. Dude, this thing just loves two-shotting everything. You know, fun fact, when that scientist says he's mad at the Sylph president for sending him to the Tixie branch, Tixie is actually the name of a region in Russia. Way too late for Dragon Rage. Dragon Rage is never useful in Gen 1. The only Pokemon that learn it is literally the Dragon Airline. But the problem is they get it so horrendously late. It's been useful in backports. It always felt like when I use pseudos before they fully evolve, they give the opponents Gen 5 Sturdy. Yeah, Gen 5 Sturdy is busted. Whoops. This guy is not good. I guess he's got him a choke. Only useful for red and blue Gyarados. True. I forgot about red and blue Gyarados. In yellow version, nothing gets Dragon Rage at the start of the game. Yeah, behind the game corner. Even if you could buy it 500 coins at a time, it still wouldn't be worth it. When was my last save? I think it's been quite a bit. I think I should black out. Come on, you idiot. Use confusion. I was actually worried I was going to win that. Fourth floor. There's only one good person on the fourth floor. And it's not this guy, it's the scientist. Oh, the scientist already fought him. I'm not gonna bother going back up to that Hypno guy. That guy can screw himself. Here's a question. Would it be possible to use some candies to get Hyper Beam for Koga? Well, the problem is I have to be level 70 for Lorelei, so that option's kind of off the table. Oh, I actually can't use that anymore. You know what, if this... I'm just gonna assume this guy won't get me again. There. Thing is, if I get all 12 rare candies that are in yellow version, is it 12 candies or 11 candies? I'm pretty sure it's 12. But Doduo wanted that protein. You know, I probably should have given it to him. Question, are there 11 candies in this game or 12 candies? I think the 12th might be Cerulean Cave, but I can't remember. Alright, I'm gonna go do Fighting Dojo now. Yeah, I believe there's 12 rare candies. No, it's 11? Okay, either way, let's assume it's 11. I would have to be level 59, like, at the start of Lorelei, so I can use the candies to get 70. But what if I used some candies to get 50? Then I would have to train into the low 60s. Honestly, it wouldn't be worth it. I think we have to at least train just as close as we can to 50. Honestly, I don't even know if we need Hyper Beam for Koga. It'll make him easier, sure, but I don't know. Breeze, nice. Alright, I'm gonna fight some of the trainers in Koga's gym now. At least that guy doesn't have hypnosis. Honestly, the trainers in Victory Road are very good. It might be worth maybe using like 3 candies. Maybe 4. Yeah, it's a pretty good term. Agatha Lottery. Honestly, maybe Hyper Beam for Koga's unnecessary. Because that was back when Scott was playing very safe. Okay, I think if I'm not poisoned, I have a pretty reasonable chance of winning. Just don't get poisoned. Alright, at least that poison's later. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's kind of the reason I'm going Ice Beam turn 1. Yeah, Hyper Beam would definitely make the Venomoth safer. But the thing is, like, training on the water is far more efficient. Yeah, this isn't a good idea. The main problem with this strat is that the Venonats just won't go down. Blackout training would help if I didn't already have my HM users with me. I've been trying to just get a freeze. But clearly that is too much to ask for. Oh my god, go fuck yourself, man. I tried, it will not work. Like, the first 3 Venonats are pretty much easy. It's the Venomoth that's bad. You got the freeze twice already? Yeah, but it's like on the Venonat, which doesn't matter. Alright, I'm just going to train to level 47 and use 3 candies. I'll just do extra training in the league. Yeah, the third Venonat's really bad. Because also due to the good AI, it won't go for Sleep Powder, it'll just use Toxic and Double Edge. I kind of thought I was closer to a level up than this. I mean, there's still Fearow in this grass. Alright, I'm using 3 candies. I think I want to get rid of Wrap, right? Yeah, get rid of Wrap. It does mean I'll need to do 3 levels worth of training in Victory Road. But honestly, maybe 70 isn't truly needed for Lorelei. Honestly, if I candy to 68 for Sabrina, that will guarantee I get level 70 for Lorelei, but the problem is that essentially eliminates all Victory Road trainers. I don't want to do that. And Sabrina is honestly kind of an incompetent trainer in Yellow version. Her Abra can't even attack you, and her AI is completely random. Alright, I am going to get Blizzard. And we are going to get Thunder as well. So you're saying 48 would have worked as well? Is Solar Beam useful in Gen 1? I don't remember. Maybe for Execute? TM28 does not, in fact, contain Tombstoner. Nope. You know, I guess Agility would be useful for this one fight here. Yeah, it would be useful for this fight. But I just liked the thought of keeping Body Slam and Hyper Beam. Besides, Blaine's AI is just completely random. I hate, dude. Blaine is just so random. Ooh, badge boost. Nice. Even with that badge boost, I still underspeed that thing. Hey, the badge boost lets me outspeed this. Uh-oh. There we go. See what I mean? Blaine is just random. I mean, he's a random fight, kind of like Chuck, but Chuck is way worse than Blaine. Blaine is actually very good. Oh. Oh yeah, Rival 5. Dude, that Ninetales is so bad. Alright, so the question is, I've used 3 candies. I still cannot remember how many candies are in yellow. N1, can you tell me how many rare candies are in yellow? Please. Great Hyper Beam miss. And Blizzard miss. Awesome. Oh my god. You know what I hate about this girl? This is the only NPC in the entire game where when you do an item for item trade, she gives you the item first, then she takes your item. You can tell this because if you have a full bag, like when you get strength, even if you have a full bag, the old man takes your gold teeth out of your inventory, then gives you strength. That girl, the copycat girl, is literally the complete opposite. She's the only one where if you have a full bag, you literally cannot do the trade. It's so annoying. 12 candies? Thank you. Damn it, dude. I gotta quit doing that. Oh, fun fact, I just learned this. The water on this route has no encounters. I need more repels. Alright, TM for Thunder, I believe, is here. Over here? There it is. Alright, hold on. Let me get some repels. Are there any good trainers in here? Let's see. There's the guy right next to Giovanni. There's the guy down there in the top right corner. What was the time Scott got on his Dratini run in Run 2? Nope. How many candies do I have? 8. If I use them now, I'll get level 63. Alright, just level 60. This Mon wishes it was normal type, right? Gen 1 miss. Wow. Damn it. Okay, I guess I gotta use Blizzard for that, Nito. Oh. That is something I didn't think about. Alright, I'm using more candies. Even in Gen 9, it would rather be a normal type. True. So yeah, I'm gonna need to get 6 levels in the league. Not in the league. Oh, fuck! Victory Road. Honestly, this is gonna be a worse runtime than Scott's anyway, because honestly, this Pokemon has to be played ultra conservatively. You really can't rush around it. You have to. Oops. You saw nothing. Yeah, you have to take your time with this. You really cannot play extreme with this. Am I forgetting any candies? Like, I'm trying to think. I know there's Victory Road. You tried to aim for the horn? Yes, that's what I did. But no, I'm pretty sure that was all of them. The water here has no encounters either. Maybe. I might want that. Not really. Makes sense. Okay, yeah, I think that's all of them. But yeah, I need level 70. So I'm gonna need 5 levels. You'll also never guess what growth rate this thing is in. That's right, slow. Honestly, the trainers here aren't going to be enough to get me 4 more levels. It's just not. There won't be enough. I mean, we can beat Lorelei pretty... We might have to blackout train to Lorelei. I mean, level 70 at the start of the league is to make sure we're 73 for the champion. Because the thing is, at level 73, Thunderbolt is actually a 50% range, but we're actually going to be going for Thunder instead. Flag Boulder. Honestly, I think I taught Blizzard too early. I should have kept Ice Beam around a bit longer for the PP. Alright, there's no more trainers here, so I'm gonna fight some wilds. Nice. Alright, we're gonna blackout train till we get level 69. Oh yeah, John, we need level 69. I'm just gonna get the rest of the levels on Lorelei. You know what's funny? In Generation 1, blackout training in the League is not that often, which is interesting. Very few Pokemon actually do blackout training in the League. Hey, horsey guy. What's happening? I'm trying to beat the game with Dratini, but I need to be level 70 at the start of Lorelei to make sure I'm level 73 for the champion. So, I'm doing some blackout training to get 2 more levels. Because I've got 1 more rare candy I can use. Before anyone makes fun of me for losing to that guy, that was intentional. Have you ever used those cheat codes? What cheat codes are you talking about? Sure, speed whatever helps you sleep at night. Oh, the cheat codes for this game. I mean, there's a lot of different cheats for this game. If you're wondering, like, what I do to replace my starter with Dratini, I use the Universal Pokemon Randomizer for that. But, like, actual, like, Game Shark codes, I've never really... Actually, there was one time, it was a long time ago, before we had a piece of software called Pokebite to set our DVs to max, we used to have to do a Game Shark code to give our Pokemon perfect stats. Alright, now we're ready to start the league for real. Actually, wait, 70 to 73, that's not going to be enough. You know what? We're using Thunder anyway. I don't think it's going to matter. Alright, let's do this. For real. Alright, I do need Mimic in the place of Body Slam. Yeah, there is a cheat code to replace starters. I don't know what that code is, but I think Universal Randomizer is just easier. But I guess the advantage of using a cheat code is you can do the runs on console. Like, if you wanted to play on the original cartridge, you could do that. The Pokemon similar to Missing No. Red and Blue in the game's code, there are about 100 Missing No's. Because there's 151 Pokemon, but there's 255 available slots for Pokemon. Actually, is it 254 or 255? I don't know if it counts 0. I think it's 255. Yeah, 255. There's 255 different slots for a Pokemon in this game, but only 151 of them are used. So the other 104, I believe, are they're just blank and just filled with garbage data. A lot of them are actually filled with unused Pokemon because in terms of like the ordering of all the Pokemon within those 255 slots, there's a lot of empty gaps with like half deleted data. So a lot of those Pokemon will just have garbage data. That's what the Missing No's are. Most are just glitched copies of other Pokemon? I guess so, yeah. Yeah, Mimic Amnesia was the play there. I was just being risky. Okay, you all saw nothing. Abysmal stats and awful starter moveset. I know there's one person in the community I'm a part of that's actually been looking at all the different glitchmons. Some of them are just atrocious. Alright, so yeah, this fight right here is pretty risky. Double slap and Comet Punch in the same set. Sounds like Kangaskhan. This sucks. This sucks so bad. Guess who summoned me by talking about Glitchmons? It was someone in my Twitch chat who brought it up first. Oh, dude. Blizzard Freeze. Oh, first tried Agatha. That's cool. Oh, Shadow, thanks for being a member for 13 months. I'm doing your Giraffrig run later this week in Sapphire version. Alright, so I'm going to be teaching Thunder in the place of Thunderbolt. Is because at level 73, the Cloister is arranged with Thunderbolt, but Thunder should make it guaranteed. Assuming it hits, of course. Turn 1 recover. Good job. Nice crit. There we go. That Ninetales is pretty bad. Also, I think because of the good AI, the Jolteon's only going to use Pin Missile and Quick Attack. Okay, that's annoying. One hour, 42 minutes, and 33 seconds. 17 blackouts, 21 resets, level 73. This Pokemon sucks. This is a bad Pokemon. Definitely this could have been played more efficiently, but the thing is, Scott used to play overly cautious all those years ago. I was thinking that you could take more risk with it, but no. This Pokemon, you have to play it conservatively. There's no, like, doing risky strats. Like, the risky strats just straight up don't work. You have to train naturally to get Hyper Beam at level 50. And it sucked I had to do blackout training. Yeah, it's Dratini. What else can I expect? But yeah, I think we now have a new slot for... Scott was a 139. Yeah, it kind of made sense that I couldn't beat that. You have to play conservatively with this Pokemon. There are some first stages where you could play risky, like, for example, Charmander. But not this thing. Alright, game time of 6:04. Real time of 1 hour, 42 minutes, and 33 seconds. Level 73 with 22 resets, 17 blackouts. Or no, it was 21 resets. I think I pressed R by accident. Alright, so if we take a quick look at the tier list. Last place. And it's not even, it's barely close. Like, 139.37 was Magnemite, but that was one of the best Magnemite runs out there, I think. Even though Zealous-Pawn, Zealous-Pawn never replayed it. I think Scott actually did get a better Magnemite time than me. But for a first playthrough, that was actually very good. I got a first try champion using Bide on Sandslash. But what would you do differently? Actually play conservatively and do basically every trainer. I was only doing the efficient trainers, but no, you have to do everybody. Just, you have to get level 50 naturally for Koga. And then you use all your rare candies at once, like probably a Giovanni. Blaine or Giovanni. Use all of your candies. When will Stinky get a run? Are you talking like Grimer? I don't know, I hope never. You know, it's a good thing I've been doing these runs for a long time, because pretty much all my leaderboards have a decent amount of entries in them. Yeah, right now my most incomplete tier list, it probably either X or Oras. It's Oras. I've only done 16 runs. Hey Shadow, I've done Draftrick in that game. Here's my red tier list if any of you are curious. Really should put that impossible tier down there too. Oh, you meant coughing. I hope never. I've actually recorded a Pokemon Moon with wheezing pretty recently. It's one of the worst Pokemon I've ever played in that game. You're going to want to see the video when it comes out. Could have been Voltorb. Honestly, I probably would have rather have played Voltorb. Then again, I remember Scott played Voltorb, and I'm trying to remember. Actually, you know what? I take it back. Yeah, Dratini's better. Voltorb has to grind in the wild to like level 21 for Brock to get Sonic Boom. Charmander's in the E tier, isn't that surprising? You meant the D tier. Oh, for red and blue. Yeah, 104. Remember, Lance's Gyarados still exists. Yeah, anyway, thank you all for stopping by. I do appreciate it. There will not be a stream tomorrow, but there should be a stream on Tuesday. Let me take a look. Oh my god, my thing just froze. Tuesday, we'll be doing Pokemon X with Walrein at 9 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. This is a member-requested solo run by, I believe, Robert? Yeah, Robert. And then Thursday will be Draft Rig. That's Shadow Traits member run. And then Friday will be the Raticate versus Alolan Raticate video. Then Saturday, Mega Sharpedo and Crystal. Yeah, this is going to be the only random stream. I may do one Friday. Maybe. If I did, it would have to be Platinum version. But actually, I take it back. I won't be. I'm going through a schedule change at work currently. Plus, after work Friday, I plan to go to GameStop and pick up a couple of Pokemon card products I pre-ordered. The Starter Series 2 packs are about to come out, and I ordered 2 of them. I really want the Unova starters in one of them. And then Saturday, I'm actually going to a card show about an hour away from me. It's a different one from the one I went to. It's in a different venue. But I hope to get some good trades there. I'll put pictures in my Discord. But anyway, that's the schedule for this week. I'll see you